How are you guys? Can y'all see that? How are you guys doing? Hey, Suze! It's so nice to see you guys. Okay, so I decided that I was going to do a live discussing lash supplies. Mainly because when I first became a lash artist, it seemed like so many people were marketing all of these supplies that they said that I had to have. Like, you have to have this tweezer. This is the best glue out. These are my lashes are the best lashes. You need this for this, this, and that. So I feel like as a new lash artist, you could get overwhelmed on what's marketed to you and how people are trying to take advantage of the fact that you're new to the lash industry. So they try to push all these things on you and take advantage and not necessarily steal your money, but just play on your lack of knowledge on supplies. So if you're new here, my name is Shawnee. Hi. I have been lashing for, I think, about 4 or 5 years now. I'm located in the state of Texas. Unfortunately, I took a lash certification when I actually paid a lot of money for a lash certification. And I learned the very, very, very basics, if that. And then I found out that the state of Texas actually requires a lash license. So I ended up going to go get my lash license after paying all that money for my certification. Passed my exams, started lashing, and now I want to teach new lash artists such as yourself. So one of the things, like I said, we're going to discuss is Lash Supplies 101. Okay, so let me get my little agenda up. 1 second. If you don't have a notebook, I promise you, you're gonna want to need a note. You're gonna want a notebook. So let's talk about first things first. And this is something that a lot of lash courses, lash certifications, they do not tell you this. The very first supply that you need is Barberside. Okay? You need to have Barberside before you get a tweezer, before you get a lash bed, before you get anything, a ring light. You need to get Barberside because Barberside is the #1 and state-approved chemical for Texas on sanitizing. Okay? So if you do not have Barberside and you're not sanitizing your tweezers using Barberside, you are not sanitizing your tweezers. And that is very dangerous because you can mess around and give somebody pink eye because you did not sanitize your tweezers properly. So you can get Barberside at beauty supplies, Sally Beauty. Basically, you just need a container. I got a little barber tools container off of Amazon. That's another thing. For all of the supplies that I'm going to be discussing today, you can click the link in the bio. And I have an Amazon list for new lash artists. So for Barberside to sanitize your tweezers, all you need is a container. You put 1/4 cup of Barberside to every 4 cups of water. And you put the tweezers in the liquid submerged. Okay? Not the tongs sticking up above the water or the handle sticking up above the solution. It needs to be completely submerged in 1/4 cup of Barberside to 4 cups of water. It needs to remain submerged 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? So if you only have 2 pairs of tweezers that you use for every client, you need to have at least a window of 15 to 20 minutes so you can sanitize those tweezers before you use them on your next client. If you choose not to use Barberside, EPA approved sanitization chemical. If you choose not to use Barberside, you can give your client infection. You can give them pink eye. Okay? Just, you do not want to be mixing eye fluids from lash client to lash client. So make sure that Barberside is the number one thing on your list for lash supplies. And I feel like I need to put this up here. Let me do it like that. So, Barberside. How do you spell it? Go up. Google. Hey, Google. Turn down the volume, please. I feel like you a little loud. Okay, so 1/4 cup to 4 cups of water. Then you're gonna submerge for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? To properly sanitize your tweezers, that's what you need to do. Next thing we're going to talk about is lash tweezers. Okay? Now, as a new lash artist, tweezers are a complicated subject. Okay, so if you are, I would say, first month to about 6 months of being a brand new lash artist, I would say get your tweezers from Amazon. Okay? Because you're going to drop them, you may lose them, they may fall out the case. So get your tweezers from Amazon, and you need a total of 4 tweezers. The reason why you need 4 tweezers is if you lose a pair, drop a pair, or you aren't able to get a pair out of the solution before your next client comes in. Okay? So, let's go over the storage of your tweezers. Okay? After you sanitize your tweezers, they need to be going in an airtight tube. Okay? For sanitation purposes. You don't want your tweezers hanging out where dust and all that could land, dust, dirt, and everything else can land on your tweezers. They need to be encapsulated and closed after you sanitize them. Keep in mind, you're using these tools on your client's eyes. So you want to be very careful on, you want to have pristine sanitization procedures in your lash space. I don't care if you're doing lashes in your living room. You could always be sanitary. Okay, so main tweezer you need to buy is a straight tweezer, and this is for isolating the natural lash. Okay, so if you buy a set of tweezers on Amazon, make sure that it has a straight tweezer. Okay, now here's what no one is going to tell you. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that in the tubing, but I have a boot, I have a curved, and I have a 95-degree angle tweezer. And let me take them out so you can see what they look like. Now, as you probably already know, that everyone says that this tweezer is the best for making fans. The boot is the best. The curved is the best. The thin 90-degree angle one is the best. Thin 90-degree angle boot, and you could see why it's called a boot tweezer. And then your curved tweezer. Okay? Here's what people don't tell you. None of these work better than the other when it comes to making volume fans, or picking up classic lashes, or making mega volume fans. They all do the same job. The only difference is your preference. So, as a beginning lash artist, especially if you're buying your tweezers off of Amazon, because you can get the sets, a set of tweezers for like $30. Get all 3 of these. That way you can practice which one you like and which one you prefer, which one you're not too crazy about. You can figure that out early. Which one is easier to hold? How's the tension in the tweezers? And I didn't even put this in the agenda, but we're going to go over it really quick on how to test your tweezers. A couple of things that you may need to do. The first thing is, when you get your tweezers, you need to test the tension. How much effort does it take for you to squeeze your tweezers? Because let me tell you something, your client has at least 100 to 200 lashes on each of her eyes. And you need to lay an extension on at least 90% of those, because 90% of that is going to be healthy lashes. You do not have time to really put effort into squeezing your tweezer, because you're doing a whole bunch of micro movements every time you make a fan and lay it and all of that. That's how you get wrist pain, and that's how you get carpal tunnel. So the first thing you want to make sure is that the tension, the amount of effort that it takes for you to squeeze the tweezers is very minimal. The second thing is, when you get your tweezers, squeeze them together. Can y'all see that? There's not supposed to be any space. If there is a space when you squeeze them together, that means that the tweezer is going to drop the lashes as soon as you pick them up off the strip. This is what we call checking for grip. Okay? Because you don't want tweezers as soon as you pick them up off your lash tile, they're falling through your tweezers. So make sure that you look for that. And also, this is what I personally do. I always sanitize my tweezers out the package, because I don't know where they've been. I don't know if you washed your hands before you tested them to send them to me to make sure they have grip. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Okay. I was trying to get this little piece out of there. And this, I always keep these when I buy new tweezers, because they go on your tip. That way, if you're taking them out the tube and it drops on the floor, you won't bend up your tweezers. That's what that's for. So make sure you keep that. Okay, so now we went over tweezers. The next thing on the agenda is lash trays. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to teach you how to read a lash tray, okay? So, the main 3 things that are on, let me see if I can move this closer. Hold on, you guys. Yeah. Okay, so the main 3 things that are on your lash tray that you need to know about are hopefully y'all can read that. I'm sorry, I write really cursive-y. The curl, the diameter of the lash, and the lash lengths. Those are the 3 main things that are going to come on your lash trays, okay? Because I remember I couldn't read, I didn't know what it looked like. Okay, so this right here is going to be your diameter. This is going to be your curl. And if you see mixed, that means it has several lengths. The lengths of the lashes are right here. So that's an 8 millimeter length, 9, 10, so on and so forth. That tells you how long the lashes are on each lash strip, okay? For new lash artists, I suggest that you get C-curl mixed lengths, and I'll tell you why. Because as you can see up here, you got really, really short lashes, and then, hold on, the logo is in the way. Down here, you go up to 15s. So if you're a new lash artist and you're practicing, you have the opportunity to practice with short as well as long lengths, and you need to have experience with both. Not only just because someone may want short lengths, but that's how you do wispies, is that you put shorter lengths in between longer lengths. So you need to be able to work with both lengths. So my suggestion for new lash artists is to buy three lash trays. Mixed curl. 2 of those are going to be C-curl because C-curl is the easiest one to work with. It's the most versatile with facial structures, which is a whole different conversation. I'll probably have a whole live on facial structures. Anyway, C is the easiest lash curl for new lash artists to work with. And so you need 3. So 2 C's and then 1 D. And the reason why you want D is because D gives you more of a dramatic flair when you add it onto the client, and you need to get familiar with it because D is very popular too. Mostly your clients are going to want C or double C or D. So if you practice with C and D, you basically got all your grounds covered. Do not do like me and go on to Amazon and all these vendor websites and buy all these lashes from everywhere. Don't do that. Buy 3 lash cases at a time, okay? If you use up 1, you still got 2. Wait until you get down to your last lash case and then order 2 more. I'm just trying to save you guys money because I can't remember. I mean, it's on my TikTok page. I had so many lash trays and I gave them away. I gave away like 30 lash trays because it was just too much. Anywho, so yes. Beginner artists buy 3 lash trays, 2 C curls, 1 D curl, all mixed length. And the way that you can tell is if you have quality lashes. Let's just say you're starting off and you're buying from a new company, okay? First thing is the feel of the lashes. They're not supposed to feel hard. They're not supposed to feel stiff at all. They should feel buttery soft. The second thing is curl. Can y'all see that? Quality lashes, they will hold their curls. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll try out new lashes on my dummy head, and just leave them sitting there for a week and see if the curl relaxes. If the curl relaxes, don't use those lashes because I would hate for you to do a cat eye on somebody and they leave your house looking good or your salon looking good, and then within 3 days the lashes are hanging like this because the curl didn't relax. Okay, so softness, curl, and also look to see how shiny the lashes are because that makes a difference. Me personally, I prefer a matte look. Some girls, they like shiny. I do not like a shiny lash extension because I feel like they look like extra fake. And lash extensions are supposed to, even the long dramatic ones are supposed to have some type of natural-esque look to them. So now we've covered Barberside, we covered lash trays. Oh, and the diameter. Let me explain this before we move on. So the 3 main things that you're going to look for in a lash tray is the curl diameter and the lengths. The diameter is basically how heavy the lash is. As a new lash artist, you do not need to get any diameter that's higher than 12. If you're just starting out and you're practicing, nothing higher than 12. So the diameter on the lash case is this. You do not need to get anything bigger than 0.12. Okay? 0.12s are for classics. 0.5s to 0.2s. This is a 0.3, but they're coming out with 0.2s. Those are for fan making, okay? 0.5 and under are for fans. Above 0.5, I think it's 0.7 to 0.12 are classics. Do not go above 0.12s if you are a new lash artist. I really prefer for you not to go above 0.12, period. Because using 0.18s and stuff, that's just you breaking off people's lashes. And that's not good. So 0.02 millimeters to 0.05 millimeters are for volumes. And then 0.7 to 0.12 are for classics. Okay? So, Barberside lash trays, lash tweezers. Okay, so the next thing we're going to cover is tape. Okay? I know everybody is saying, use this tape. Da-da-da-da-da. You know, this is the best tape to tape down the lower lashes. And here's another thing, ladies. Okay, I got my little dummy head. Don't worry about the strip. When you are taping down a client's lashes, the only objective that you have under the under eye is to ensure that you are taping down the bottom lashes. Think about how small bottom lashes are. Okay, it does not take a whole bunch of tape to tape down the bottom lashes. The reason why it's important for you to tape down all of the bottom lashes and not have them sticking up is because you don't accidentally want to possibly glue your client's eye shut. You don't want to think that you are lashing a lash or adding an extension to a natural lash on their eyelid and it's actually their bottom lash. Okay, that just opens the gate for you possibly gluing their eye shut, possibly sticking them in their actual eyeball with the extension. You just don't want to do that. Anywho, you don't need no more than 2 pieces of tape. Okay? You don't need to be taping all right here and all right here. It just needs to go under the eye to tape down the bottom lashes. Because I see girls with tape all on the client's bridge of their nose. No. The second area that you need to use tape is on the eyelid, because you want to put just a little bit of tape to kind of pull up that little piece of skin on their eyelid to expose all of their layered lashes. If you're a beginning lash artist and your lashes look thin, it's probably because you're not lashing all of the client's lash layers. We all have lash layers. We all have at least 2 to 3 lash layers. And when I first started, all my sets looked thin because I was only lashing the top layers, okay? So, getting into types of tape. This is microphone tape. It's thicker. It's soft. I use this personally to tape down the client's under eyes. So I use it in this region. And I like this tape because it's soft on their skin and it's thick. So when they close their eyes, it kind of like seals a little bit. It doesn't seal their eyes closed, but it seals their eye from any type of glue fumes that may irritate their eye. So I really, 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 really like this particular tape. The next one is the Next Care tape. This is breathable. It's more of a medical tape. You can use this tape to tape down the client's under eyes. You can also use this tape on the eyelid to reveal the client's lash layers. It's really nice because it's not too sticky. So, I mean, you could peel it up and move it around and it's not going to irritate the client. This tape, I forgot the name of this tape, but I know you've all seen it. It's just like the white cheap eye tape. This is, I don't use this on clients because it actually sucks, to be quite honest. What I use it for is to put a strip of tape when I don't have any of these for my jade stone. And we'll get into jade stones and glue rings later. But when I don't have anything, as you can see, I put my glue dot on here. When I don't have any more of these stickers, I put a piece of tape and put my glue dot on the tape. This tape is not good for clients. So, and if you don't want to use tape, you can also use eye patches. You can get these on Amazon. My Amazon list for beginner lash artists is in the link of my bio. Like, you could get like 100 of these for like a little bit of nothing. But I prefer that you use the microphone tape, because this is probably why a lot of your clients are getting up from your lash beds with red irritated eyes, because those glue fumes, those very, very light glue fumes that permeate from the glue are irritating their eyes. But this microphone tape, honey, it seals the deal. Ain't nothing getting up in there. If you have questions, leave them in the chat, you guys. Don't be afraid to ask me any questions, because I'll answer those too. Okay, so now we're going to go on to lash brushes and swabs. So, lash brushes. These are good to use during the lash appointment. So you can brush the lash extensions. That does two things as a lash artist. First of all, any lashes, any extensions that you really didn't place really good, you can brush them out and put another extension on there. It's better for you to catch it than the client getting in their car and brushing their lashes and all these extensions falling out because you didn't glue them down properly. So as you're lashing, every now and then get you a spoolie. That's what these are called, a spoolie, and brush through the lashes. It will also help you to catch stickies. Stickies is when you accidentally glued the lashes together. So what you would do would just to brush through the extensions. I got a lash dummy here. So see how that one came out? It's better for you to catch a stray fan than your client. So let's just say that you were lashing and you were brushing and an extension came up. You can find that lash where the extension came up and replace it and place that extension better than you did the one on your brush. Also, like I said, brushing the lashes, the extensions during the appointment, it helps you to make sure that there are no stickies. None of the lashes are sticking together. And you always want to keep these, don't ever be taking clients and don't have a spoolie. Okay? Because even if you don't use the spoolie, you need to send your client with the spoolie so they can have proper aftercare. So, you could get these on my Amazon list. I want to say they're like $3 for like 50 of them. They're extremely cheap. The second one are the thick swabs, if you will. These are used for thick supplies, such as adhesive remover. If you're doing a remover, you can use these. You could use these for gel and cream remover. The reason why you want these is because they are thick. They're not, and they are non-absorbent. You could put a lot of products, layers on layers on layers on these swabs, okay? The second type of swabs that you're going to need are these. These are thinner. And these, you use these for your primer. Because you don't need a lot of primer or product when you're applying that to the natural lash. You only need a little primer. And these